everybody. Hello and welcome. Hope you're all doing fantastic. We're about to start this live stream for the evening. How exciting is that? So this is part of my series of coming up with 9 large abstract paintings in 9 days. So over the course of this weekend, depending on the situation, I might try to get 2 done tomorrow if I have time. But today we're just gonna do this one tonight because this was the time we were able to find. I had plenty of time earlier, but gotten into this habit of painting in the evenings. So actually, I just got my canvases. So these are canvases. There's a size that I had to pick up from Amazon. Unfortunately, they just shipped it today. So been waiting on that, but as we get started here, that is what we're going to be doing, is working on this large canvas here. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day. These are all going to be abstract pieces. This is all going to be an abstract. Totally abstract. So grab a couple palette knives that I want to use here. Pop open some more supplies and pick a paintbrush. We're gonna go with our filbert. We're gonna go with a large filbert right here. We're gonna go for a small brush, we're going to use a little brushy brush, like this one right here. Use a little brushy brush. And for a mid-sized brush, let's go, I'm going to use for a mid-sized brush. We need a nice rough brush to play with, so we're going to use the same brush that we used, I think we used this yesterday. And we need at least one palette knife, one version of a palette knife. But I want to see if I have the one that's vertical. I want my vertical palette knife. And can't seem to find that in this palette. Let's see, where is it? Where'd it go? Can't seem to find a specific palette knife that I need, but that's okay. We're gonna go. That's okay. We're gonna keep going. Where could have gone? Anyway, let's grab this. Let's see, what do we want to do? We're going to go middle-sized brush here. Mid-sized brush, a large brush, 2 mid-sized brushes, and I think we're good to go. So let's do this. Maybe one more for like added texture and design here. Let's see. It's hard finding just the right one. Alright, this is one of my favorite brushes despite how rough it is. John Clark, what's going on? Thought I would drop in and say, Kai, what's up? Thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to get started here in a moment. Just get my brushes ready. I try to do these paintings specifically with just one specific brush. or not one specific brush, but a few specific brushes. I try not to get too, try not to have too many brushes for these. So let's see, what happened to that palette knife that I was working, that I wanted to use? Oh, lost it. All right, I think it's under here somewhere. A lot of garbage here. It has disappeared, sadly. All my favorite brushes seem to disappear. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these brushes down. And we're going to prepare them for use. Let's grab some colors. So actually, you know what? I see this green here. And I'm going to start with our green. I'm going to take our green with this nice big brush. Yeah, so I'm doing alright. It was a busy day. I'm getting over a cold, fortunately. My cold has lasted about a week, but I find this cold very interesting because the cold, it's like this cold is like a different symptom every day. It's not like a symptoms like stacking on top of each other. These symptoms are like one disappears and the next day there's like a new one. As the previous day kind of like, it doesn't disappear, but it just gets better. It's like I had a stuffy nose and it was less stuffy the next day, but I had a sore throat. And then I had a stuffy nose and a sore throat the next day, but it was less, and then I had a cough. You know, it's such a funny cold that I have. I don't know if that's funny, but it's probably not funny at all. But for sure, I'm getting over a cold, and that feels good. It's cool to see your body, or feel your body, experience your body healing itself day by day. You know, it could go so many ways. Colds, flus, they used to, you know, kill entire populations of people, entire civilizations. But now, it's just like, you know, just a bad day. Anyway, so John Clark, you did anything creative this weekend? Braxton Lazenby, what's going on? A lot of colds going around. Braxton Lazenby. So John Clark, what's new with you, sir? Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad that we can have people all here that find friends and subscribers, and that's what I want to create is a community of people that comes together to create community. So here we go. Go with this white here. It's me, David. Hey, I'm not David, but somebody said it's me, David, and I am painting an abstract painting. So this is a painting that is abstract. I actually don't know the definition of abstract. Abstract is just non-figurative. I guess it is something that doesn't necessarily represent something, or something that is thought of that can't be explained with logical means, I guess. Alexa, what is the definition of abstract?
Abstract can be an adjective or noun, describing something that is general or conceptual, as opposed to particular or concrete. It can also be a verb, meaning to remove or take away.
There we go. Conceptual. I like that. General or conceptual, rather than specific. That's a good definition. So that's the one we're going to go with. but took a rest day today. Fantastic. You took a rest day from life. Did you escape the home and you went out somewhere to party? What is a rest day to you? We're gonna get lots of yellow for this. Lots of yellow. And then let's go. We definitely need some cad red. Yeah, let's throw in a bunch of cad red here. Got our green. Got our red right here. Let's bring in our red. It's an extremely busy week, non-working day, time with people who matter to you. Fantastic. Did y'all like go out to the park and do a barbecue, or watch some sports on TV, or did a creative project together, made a nice dinner together? What's that like? We grab some more of our blue. Blue, blue, blue. Let's go blue. We got our ultramarine color here that I'm about to lay down. Ultramarine. I love that name, ultramarine. It sounds like such a powerful color. I love that word, ultramarine. So let's see right now. Let's bring in our red here. We go red on top, and let's see, if we go green, the opposite would be red, and on the opposite of red would be purple and yellow orange. So if we get purple on one side, we could do a nice contrasting thing. I'm gonna go with this yellow. I'm gonna bring this orange, this deep yellow. We're gonna mix it with our red so that we can create a nice orange, red orange. We're gonna go right along just this bottom area right here. Let's just go. Just alpha walks. Walks are great. Walks are fantastic. That's like the best activity. I don't know how old you are. You don't need to say, but that's like the best activity that an adult of any age can do on a daily basis. Walking. I mean, obviously, actually, you know what? There's better activities, but the safest, least likely to harm your body activity, but have all the added benefits of exercise is walking. So, fantastic that you got that in. It's better than exercise. I mean, it is exercise, what am I saying? Sometimes I say things that I don't mean when I'm streaming while painting. So we're gonna let this red just shine down, shine down. Anybody remember that band, Shine Down? I remember that band. Seeing friends. Hey, that's nice. Friends are good. You live in a, you don't have to share what city, but do you live in like a big city or a nice little town, or what? Here we go. We're gonna go, let's grab this red here, spread it, grab a big chunk of this red, and we're gonna mold this purple right here. We're gonna mold a nice purple, a nice dark purple. There we go. Maybe need some more white. And then this purple, maybe a bit more orange, yellow. Let's do that. A bit more red, Too red, too much red. Alright, you know what? We're gonna just create a nice dark section right here. Oh, London. Oh, right, John. What's up? All right. Yes. So when you say rest day, you mean you took a break from running, from doing your ultra marathon training, right? Yes. I'm just now putting the pieces together. Gonna go hang out with some friends at the cafe and knock out some exciting times. You know, the most interesting thing, I don't know if you've ever been to America, but the most interesting thing that I found about London when I went there a couple years ago was the fact that you could walk around London and walk around buildings and there weren't any alleyways. That it's like every corner that you turned was like a new, was like another building. There was just like buildings all the way around. There was like no alleyways that I noticed. And I thought that was fascinating because in California at least, and pretty much everywhere in the United States, the back of every building is basically an alleyway. It's because of our garbage system, and I'm pretty sure, you know, London is like London because that's your garbage system. That's your garbage collection system. People put their garbage out in front of their businesses for people to collect. That's so cool. And that's just awesome. Very interesting to me. And for this piece, I'm more focused on, I want to lay down the large areas of color early on. Rather than, you know, building piece by piece. This way I can build on top of the large areas rather than constantly trying to work around small chunks and stuff. But sometimes having you know, smaller chunks of colors isn't so bad. Let's go like this. We're gonna grab our white here. Actually, you know what? Let's see. If I take this purple, to add some blue here. Let's make this nice and blue, extra blue. And let's go down here with this blue. Antonia, hello, welcome back. I like how you always make like emojis to communicate. That's hilarious. Do you do that with like your friends, or do you do that because I think you said you're from Brazil, right? Or do you do that because you're from Brazil and you prefer to communicate via emojis? That is very funny because You know what? Whenever I think of emojis, I think of like ancient Egypt, and I think of like, you know, how people communicated with hieroglyphs, which is basically ancient emojis. Hieroglyphs are basically ancient emojis to an extent, unless you know, unless you're like a super language historian. You know, maybe you would disagree, but I think the argument could be made that language, uh, that emoji, hieroglyph, ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics is just a form of emoji. John, when you say your efforts, do you? I know this is gonna sound like a dumb question, but you're talking about your efforts as an artist, or do you mean efforts as a runner and artist? And here we go. I'm a little done with this brush. Let me take a little break from this brush, and let's start to brush in some of our yellow here. I'm gonna take some nice pure yellow, and this is gonna help us make a green. So we're gonna have like a green here. I think it's always important to have something that looks like something. So let's see. What can we do? Something like leaves. I think that's a good idea. Let's go with some leaves here. I'm gonna paint some leaves. Here we go. Leaf here. Obviously not an exact leaf, just a leaf. Just a something that symbolizes, looks like a leaf. Artist, wonderful, yeah. So what are you working on? What have you dreamt of painting lately? Well, let's do another leaf right here. I feel like this is a good spot for a leaf right over here. Let's go. Let's see. Let me take a step back and just feel this out. What's the name of this live stream? I forgot what I named this live stream, and usually when I name the live streams, it's something that's specific that I want to talk about, but I can't remember. Let me see if I can pull it up on my other phone. Well, that's annoying. I can't actually look up what this live stream name is. So if I try to remember, what did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about, anyway, whatever. Designs, computers, logos. Very nice. Yeah, you know what? I think it's important to remain flexible as far as what we talk about, but yeah, I always try to like bring in some motivational idea, some inspirational concept that, you know, something that has helped me. And I guess, you know, here's a question. So John, you're a runner. You obviously know how to keep yourself motivated, right? unless you absolutely love running and you can't imagine doing something else and you love it so much that you don't need motivation. But I'm sure some days you do. And it's those days that help to separate you from, the person that doesn't run ultra marathons. So in your view, how do you feel? Oh, okay. Why many adults can't do abstract art? Thank you so much. I'm going to talk about that. But in your view, talking about motivation, where do you feel, if there is a gap, where do you feel is a gap between your ability to keep yourself motivated for exercise versus motivated for creating artwork? Is there a gap? I don't know. Do you feel there is, like, you have no problem feeling motivated to, and I'm using the term motivated very loosely, right? Like, I'm not trying to say you're unmotivated. I'm just using that term as like a general catch-all of, on one hand, you've done these great ultra marathons, and then on the other, you're saying that your artist friends are encouraging. And when I think of an ultra marathon runner, I'm like, they don't need encouragement. Of course they do, but there's a deep need, a deep understanding of what it takes to achieve that level of fitness. So, I wonder, with that knowledge, how does that carry over into your art, or how does that encouragement work for you? There you go. So why many adults can't do abstract art? I'm actually going to pull out a piece of paper for once, and I'm going to try to come up, throughout the course of this live stream, I'm going to try to come up with 10 reasons why adults can't do abstract art. But I want to write them down so that I can remember which ones I say. And I'm going to start with reason one. Reason one, stuck in the past. I like to use terms that make people think and doesn't really give away the answer right away, but it kind of does. But stuck in the past. Let's talk about this. And by the way, some of this stuff I'm thinking up on the spot. Although, I have contemplated this stuff before, but stuck in the past. When I say stuck in the past, I feel like it's one of those things where, an adult, they look at artwork at a museum and they're looking at, like, classical Renaissance art, and they're thinking, oh my gosh, this realism art is just fascinating. It's the best. It's the greatest. And we all know, anybody who has, like, sold or bought art professionally, or has even, like, dedicated time to studying modern art, has realized that it has come so far in the past 600, 700 plus years, that it has gone beyond just, hey, how great of a Sistine Chapel can you paint? And I feel like that is what it means to be stuck in the past. You're stuck with this old art that is absolutely brilliant. The Mona Lisa, anything by Rembrandt, all the Renaissance painters, yes, absolutely brilliant by every measure. But art has come so far since then. And that is my first concept there, of being stuck in the past. What's number two? Let me think of a second one. Some of these might end up just tying together. But what else keeps why adults can't do abstract art? Waste. Feeling of waste. And by the way, these are all things that I've that have crossed my mind. So this is examples from me that I've also read on like different websites and stuff. And you know, I think at some level these are concepts that aren't universal. I don't want to say they're universal, but like, you know, they're general. They're general in nature. They're things that, you know, we've probably heard or seen or experienced ourselves. And let's grab this yellow, and we're gonna put the yellow right in here. And what is waste? What do I mean by waste? I mean, when I talk about waste, I'm talking about anytime an adult is thinking, oh, I can't do this painting. Like, you know, this canvas is precious. This canvas cost me money. This canvas was expensive. This paint is expensive. I can't waste it. I can't waste it. I have to do something incredibly beautiful and fascinating with it. And, you know, I understand everyone's got a different, everybody has a different financial situation. So, you know, those could be valid reasons. But at the same time, this is also a limiting idea that prevents some adults from jumping into abstract art. There's way too much green on this, so I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll figure something out. So anyway, got a little distracted there, but we're going to go ahead and keep going. We're going to bring the screen into here. Maybe this is just a very green painting. But let's see. So John Clark says, you know, you have never trained in art, but you were thinking lack of confidence and fear of being ridiculed. Yeah, your art teacher ridiculed artwork, ripped it up in front of you. You can see the one about waste. That applies to other, yeah, like learning cooking, food waste. Totally, yeah, there's applications from all over. Yeah, exactly. So good point there, good. Thanks for chiming in. So what's another reason? You know, not only fear of waste, but you know, I'm just gonna add this just in case. Let me put this on the side in case I can't actually think of 10 unique ones. Let's see. I'm gonna call this next one technical brain. Technical brain. I think technical brain is this idea of like, you know, when you're painting something, you feel like it should be technical, right? Like it should be composed, right? It should have like the right balance and the technical color choice, and it should be good circles and good colors and like figures and people and organization and things like that. And this is somewhat tied to the idea of being stuck in the past. But I think at the same time, it's this way of thinking that can cause a level of stuckness, a technical stuckness where you think too technically. You're thinking that, and by the way, there's great abstract art that's very technical, like Piet Mondrian, right? Piet Mondrian, he did the yellow, blue, red squares. That's very technical. He painted straight lines. He measured out how wide things should be and everything. Very technical. And with that, he created some masterpieces that have absolutely influenced a huge amount of modern art, aesthetics, and fashion. So Piet Mondrian, my goodness, amazing. Just put this art away. But I think on the abstract level, thinking too technically, if you have technical brain, which I think many men do, I think most men have like a technical brain, a brain that wants to break down information to its pieces, and you want to break it down into the steps and the pieces and the systems, and and I'm not saying women don't think this way either. I'm just saying that in the case it's often believed that men use more of their I don't know if this is politically correct anymore, I'm sorry, but men use more of the logic brain and women use more of their creative, like expressive brain. I don't know if this is politically correct, but fortunately, I have an idea I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. So anyway, men use different sides of men and women are different in the way they think. Let's just put it that way. And men tend to supposedly think more technically. Supposedly, according to some research. That said, yeah, the technical brain. I think that's why women are such great abstract artists. You could see so many women, at least today. I think women have not always had the chance to be artists, but especially today, you see a lot of abstract art. Women just go for it. I mean, the number of abstract artists versus like figurative technical artists I see, definitely women are definitely more towards abstract, and then there's definitely male abstract artists and everything, but you can definitely see a divide just on social media. I could be wrong. I haven't done my full research, but that's what it looks like to me. So yeah, there's that. And let's see. Clean this brush off. But yeah, it can be very hard at least for myself, to overcome technical brain, to like just be like, oh, I could just paint this and not have to think about the technical stuff. So not everything can be created with a system. Absolutely. Beautiful, wonderful, fantastic. So that's number 3. We got stuck in the past, waste, technical brain. Let's see, what else is there? Technical brain. Fear. I mean, fear is probably the underlying one in all this. Fear of, fear. But fear is probably the underlying one in all this that... that pervades pretty much all of this. But the fear of... we could probably just expand on this idea. The fear of what? The fear of judgment, the fear of waste, the fear of, someone saying that your painting is like a child. I've had people say that. I was like, they're just like, dude, you paint like a child. It's like a kid's painting. And I don't know if they were joking, trying to reference Picasso, just as like an inside artist joke. But, yeah, let's go ahead and add more of this white here. Yeah, fear. I mean, I'm just going to put fear because that's the foundation of all things that are not achieved or attempted. Stuck in the past. Waste. Technical fear is definitely the one for me. Fear will look like crap. Fear people will laugh. Concerns about wasted money. Yeah, I mean, those are all there. So, but at least once you're recognizing it, dude. I mean, here's a funny thing. For me, I don't know if you run at night, but... I had to convince myself that I was scared to run in the dark to get myself to run at night. Because as soon as I admitted, it sounds so dumb for an adult man to say, "Hey, I'm scared of running in the dark." But when I was really getting serious about running and training for a marathon, I had to create a routine that was around my work schedule, and I had to be like, okay, I gotta run in the dark. And I would ask myself, why do I not want to run in the dark right now? And by the way, I live in a safe area, so it's not like, you know, I'm running around a really dangerous neighborhood or anything. So, you know, just thinking about that, my safety as far as my life was not that dangerous, you know, and I live in a, you know, neighborhood, so there's people around. But I was like, why am I not running in the dark? Is it cold now? Is it cold out right now? No. Is it am I procrastinating? Maybe. But what other reasons might it be? And I'm like, what if I'm afraid of running in the dark? Is that possible? Am I scared of the dark to run in the dark? So when I finally admitted that to myself, I was like, maybe you're being a wimp, and you're just like, hey, you're not running because you're scared of the dark. And I was able to get myself with that. I was like, no, I'm not going to allow myself to have that as a fear. And you know, I got myself running in the dark. And then, you know, once you get started, you know, it's all good. But I think the idea here is, if you can recognize something and address it and consider it a fear, recognize it that it's a fear, then you can either realize what your obstacle is, or you can peer pressure yourself into just doing it because you realize it's not that horrifying. So you train during the week, so running after work is the only option. Best solution. Yeah, I do have a running club. This is a running club nearby, but it's about 15 miles away. I've never run with a run club, but I have considered it. I don't know. I just don't see myself traveling for 30 minutes or an hour just to go run with a run club. Because LA traffic, I don't know if you know this, Los Angeles traffic, maybe it's the same in London, but anything more than 5 miles will take you up to like 30 minutes plus. Anything more than 5 miles will take you at least like 5 minutes to get to. Or I mean 30 minutes to get to. Anything more than 5 miles can take you up to 30 minutes to get to. So let's see. Let's do some shapes here. We need some good old shapes. Grab some more of this. We're gonna go around right here. Here we go. Yeah, all right. So London. When I first started painting, I purposely made pieces that would be laughable, so that I can overcome that idea. All right, so we only came up with 4 so far. Fear, Oh, here's one that I feel like could be somewhat offensive, but lack of creativity. This could lack of creativity. I feel like this could be a thing, like why adults don't do abstract art, lack of creativity. Um, you know, not saying that people that do figurative art are not creative, just that lack of creativity. There's a feeling that this happens when I paint outdoors. I always have to like see something that I'm painting in order for me to be able to draw or paint it. And I guess that's not always a lack of creativity. Sometimes it's just not having a reference, right? Like, I know what a sphere ball looks like, but if you've never drawn a sphere ball and someone tries to describe it to you and you can't imagine it, you have to look at it to draw it, right? That's a bad example because it's not very complex, but maybe something more, or forest, or I'm trying to think of a good example, like a rose. Let's just pick something more specific, like a rose, right? If you don't know what a rose looks like, and you know like 100 different flowers, but you don't have a reference for a rose, even if you're constantly looking at 100 different flowers and you finally see a rose and you see 100 more different flowers. Who hasn't seen a rose? Again, this is an example. But if you've never seen a rose and then suddenly, you're like challenged to draw a rose, you might not have the reference for it. So, and then when I feel that way, I recognize that, that's a technical thing. But as far as the lack of creativity goes, sometimes when you're so dependent on seeing something in order to draw it, in order to paint it, sometimes that creativity goes out. And, the creativity manifests itself elsewhere, right? Like the creativity of how you express the line, the creativity of what you pick and choose to draw or paint, how you choose to compose things on a paper, how you choose to do all these things. That is creativity, of course, but a lack of a certain type of creativity manifests, I think, when people choose not to do abstract art. See how we go with this. We got this blue-green. Need something in here that separates it a bit. All right, let's go. Let's go with the light blue. We'll pull our, actually, you know what? Let's go darker red here. I'm gonna grab our white, bring it into our purple color. And lighten this purple up here. We get a good purple, a nice light purple pink. And we're just gonna bring this down into here. Yeah, there we go. And what we're gonna also start doing right now is loosening up our strokes. I've been very focused on keeping like a really neat look. This like, very brushed effect, but it's unnecessary. Unnecessary, totally unnecessary. So let's just go down like so. Let's grab this and bring this up. And right now we can actually start to merge the different sections. Start to merge some of the different sections here. Let's start bringing this in. And let's see, we're going to take a bigger brush now. I got to paint something into here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with a lighter blue, a much lighter blue here. This paintbrush might not work. Let's see what we can do. Grab our white, lay it down right here. Grab just a hit the blue. Yeah, that's a good color actually. There we go. That works. All right, this works. Let's paint this right into here. And here we go. And you know what? Let me add another one. I think I would become an incredible art teacher teaching designs for your own pleasure. So you think you need to take the attitude if others like it, great. Yeah, if they don't, great too. Yeah, exactly. If they don't, that's great too. It's hard. Let's say it's hard. I honestly, I'm going to say abstract artwork. I'm going to say it's hard. Maybe not for everybody. But the challenge of it doesn't come, in my opinion, from the actual like difficulty level. But all these things that we're listing right here is what makes it hard. You have to overcome a lot of things. You have to really be open to trying something different. I mean, you know, there's some artists that have gotten so deep into figurative art that are known for realism that, you know, they wouldn't be recognized if they did something else, and that is something that probably comes to mind for some people. That is a challenge to overcome. Let's grab some of this brown here, this brown color that we got. It's gonna go right into here. I'm gonna paint this into here. It's purple brown. Yeah, thanks. I've thought about teaching, but the thing is like, I don't think I'd be a good teacher in the sense of like, hey, this is, you know, how you draw a sphere, and then whatever. I think I'd be a good coach. So what I would rather have is like, and I think a lot of universities are now on this route. So rather than like a teacher that teaches, they have a professor that like, they have like professors and TAs that guide. You know, they help a student guide and find their voice. And I think a lot of universities are leaning toward that now. And I would definitely see myself doing that, but I don't know if I'd like be good at teaching. As far as like instruction, I don't think I'd be good at instructing, but I guess, you know, apples and oranges, right? We're probably talking about the same thing here in a couple different ways. But thank you, John. I know the rule is that if someone gives you a compliment, you should just say thank you. But, you know, I like to expand on my thoughts on this live stream, so I do. It is now a habit of mine. Alright, we are almost done filling this entire canvas with color. And I actually like the way it looks, this blurry way. My other canvases are quite wild. But it doesn't feel like me. This does not feel like an Emmett Ferguson painting. Which, you know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Excuse me. So let's grab some more of our red here, our red-orange. I have a bit of a color battle. And we're gonna go grab this. Let's go right into here. Where do we want to take this red? Where do we want to take this red? Let's bring this red all the way to the bottom here. Straight to the bottom. Yes. And you know what? Interestingly enough, I am applying to become a substitute teacher, so maybe I will teach a art class at someday. Maybe I will. Maybe it is definitely on the radar. But I think a lot of art classes at the elementary level, I don't know if you call it elementary in London, but elementary in the United States, not everyone here watching is probably from the United States, so I feel that the need to explain. But elementary is basically, you know, from the age of like the first class level until Americans do 5th grade, so kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So the second you enter school, and every year is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's elementary. I know Americans don't, if you're American, you don't need me to explain that. It just sounds redundant. But I know not everyone here is from America. Well, John, who I'm talking to specifically, is not in America. So, I don't know, what do they call it in London? Primary or something? Call it primary school or whatever. There's Kat. She's on her Apple. There you go. She's right there. First lesson, you split the class and ask them to explain how to make a cup of tea. They all came up with different approaches. Let's take programming. If you give 2 programs tasks, it will create 2 different... Yeah! Right! So, you know, so many different ways. Alright, let's go like this. Here we go. You know, so I gotta know, are there really that many ways to make a cup of tea? Because you've actually experienced all the different ways. I have not. I only know of one way to make a cup of tea. Put the tea bag in, and then you pour in the boiling water. I'm sure there's more, but are there really that many ways to make a cup of tea? Because now that you bring it up, I am actually quite curious. How many ways can you actually make a cup of tea? A cuppa, a cup of tea. Someone told me that in some country they call it a cuppa, a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Can't remember what country though. Okay, what color? Need some more, let's do a rotation here. And not before wiping this brush off. Alright, what do we got going on? UK, it's a cup of tea coffee. It's basically all the possible combinations of that. Some left it to the end. Some use a teapot, some put the milk sugar in first. Oh, okay. That's a good point. So here's a question, John. Do you feel like anyone actually picks up a new habit of making tea, a new way of making tea, or do they all pretty much just go back to their tried and true habit? They all made a cup of tea. There you go. That's a good lesson plan. Did you make that up yourself, or did you adapt it from someone else? I like that idea. we go. I think now's a good time to start loosening up on our coloring here, our painting. Green, it's overpowering. So if a student had a programming idea and asked your opinion, you would listen and tell them to give it a try. That's awesome. I know this, I read this one book that said that there was like this famous, some famous agent, like screenwriter, manager, or something like that. And no matter what, if you sent him the first email that you sent him, like, hey, what do you think of my script? No matter whether you did it already, like proofread it or whatever, the agent would always send back, hey, this you need to go over the whole thing again. And supposedly the purpose of that was to, the agent or the manager never liked, or the publisher or whatever, I forget who they were, they always felt that no matter what, an extra round of editing, if someone would take it back, it would always be better, no matter what. Like, they never liked, getting like a first or a second draft. They always wanted whatever draft would come after the first one, or the one that they were sent initially, would be better. That's the theory. So when you say give it a try, you kind of make me think of like that type of thing. So let's go some more of this yellow. We're going to contrast. Very strong separation of yellow here. Much more stronger separation of yellow. Or it's actually more orange, but you get the idea. But here we go. So I have done a little bit too much brushing. Which has made this feel like a very blurry painting, and I feel like it's a very stylized piece, which I'm not aiming for this blurriness. So when I'm done with all this this initial paint layer, I'm going to be going in a bit rougher, and we're going to have some more fun. But for now, I want to play with laying down more of the color zones. I want to lay down the color zones more before I get into the more expressive concept. What if it doesn't work? You tell them that they learned something new, and if it works, they learn something new to do. It's all a win. There you go. What if? There you go. That's number 7. What if? Actually, I'm stealing that. My coach mentor. I had a coach, and she would say, "Don't what if your way out of things." And it sounds like that's something you do naturally, is you help people to get over their what ifs. But I think what ifing is huge that prevents adults from doing abstract art. Like, you know, what if it turns out really bad? What if I waste all my paint? What if it goes nowhere? What if I'm wasting my time? What if, you know, all these things, all these what ifs. What if nobody cares? That's probably the worst, that's probably the scariest one, right? Nobody cares about my art. What if everything I do is futile? What if? So what ifing? Let's bring in some blue right here. We're gonna grab our blue. We're gonna go around the edges. We need some more blue there. There's a lot of blue right there, so we're gonna go. You know what? We're gonna balance the blue over in this area. Edison once said, "He not failed 10,000 times. He says he's found 10,000 ways that will not work." Yes. Now it does make me wonder if Edison, out of those 10,000 tries, how many other patents he came up with those 10,000 other tries. Or is it just, you know, that one that he was going after, and that was the only thing he needed to become one of the greatest inventors the world has ever seen? Inventing a light bulb. Imagine that. How do you invent the light bulb? All right, got this blue. Let's bring this blue into our red. We're gonna mix it with the white. We're just gonna get this. Say it was a light bulb moment because they didn't exist. Yeah. Software developer, you've had ideas that after exploration didn't really work. Nice. Yeah, I guess in software development, I did try to learn coding for a little bit, but it wasn't for me. And I think it's amazing that you have that talent. It is great that you can teach it. So is there a specific type of software that you teach, or just in general, do you teach like a certain language or something, or how do you, when you say teach it? Getting ready for bed, Kat?
No.
Oh.
Why? 6:10.
Oh.
You want me to go to bed now?
No, well, you're like getting up and it seemed like you were gonna go prepare for something.
Maybe dinner.
Oh.
I was hoping you might make mistakes.
Oh, really? I'm painting.
I see that, but how long are you gonna paint?
Maybe another hour?
I can eat that. I'm gonna feed the cats. Oh, nice.
Kinda?
Yeah.
Just kinda?
Yeah.
Kat, that's
Finish.
just
Okay.
kinda?
Look at these babies.
Just kinda, babe. I am.
So cute.
I have been insulted in my own apartment.
Oh my god. Don't be insulted. It's our
Taking over.
Go ahead. Take over the
Taught the fundamentals of software design. Develop. Nice. Have you? So do you find your software development skills helps? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's how you spell it. K-A-T. Yeah. Hey, Kat.
Yeah.
John says it's good to see ya.
Oh yeah? Oh, hi guys.
Kat says hi, John. All right, here we go. Moving around this, and I think as I start to close these these sections off, we are finally reaching a point where we're starting to have some more excitement. So excitement, as in color, texture, variety of design and look. All right, here we go. Let's throw some black in this. That's a taboo color, black. Let's throw some black right into here. Good. Yeah, thanks so much, John. It's great to chat with a variety of people. You know, a bunch of people like pop in here, artists, non-artists, and ultimately, you know, my goal is to just be able to grow this along with the community. Yeah, that's what they do. Can you believe that kittens would be so wasteful, Kat?
Well, I didn't think they would do that anymore. Looking at more consideration.
All right, we're working with this almost at a point where I can start to experiment further on this canvas. Almost at that point. Let's actually add some black into this corner. Got a lot of black paint still. So now's a good time to use it. Black is a fantastic color to just break up spaces. I mean, I think white is too, but you know, especially if the entire canvas is painted, if you use some black, it just like suddenly, just instantly, it's like, whoa! Just like there's this visual impact from the areas that are painted the darkest value color. It's really interesting. So you're going to head off. Hey, take care, John. Thanks for being on that late. I don't know.
Who wants to eat?
You know, I'm totally glad to be able to hear that I had the opportunity to be able to share my work with somebody at 2:17 in their morning, and I find that very fascinating. I feel like when I was a kid, one of my dream jobs was to become a QVC host, which is, if you don't know QVC, it's basically like the people that sell stuff on TV. I don't know if they have that in the UK, but they sell stuff on TV, and that's just all they do until like 4. They do it all day. They do it into the morning, They do it into the evening at 2 a.m. And actually, one of my dream jobs was to become a QVC host, but definitely didn't go that route. Although, you know, I can feel like sometimes when I'm painting, I'm doing that to an extent. But yeah, so very cool. You know, QVC. Ha, yeah. So yeah, it was like one of my dream jobs. I don't know why. I just love the idea of just being able to sell stuff on TV and then people just calling in and being like, hey, yeah, I would like to buy 10 of those. And interestingly enough, I got to work on a TV show that was a parody of QVC. And on that TV show, I got to play, as you might have guessed, a show host. So I got to play out my dream job on a TV show. So I don't just play a QVC host, or I'm not actually a QVC host. I just play one on TV. Show is called I Love That For You. If anybody wants to see it, I was in I Love That For You. I was a featured extra. You could see me in many, many scenes. But good show. It only made it to one season, but really good show. Very funny. It was somewhat offensive, but very funny. It was offensively funny. I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but you know, you're not allowed to say things are offensive and funny. Kind of like doesn't really go together, but that's what it was. So anyway, let's do this. So I have black on here. The problem with black is it makes everything so dark. So what I should do right now is I should give it a nice flip. I'm going to lay this black down on each of the sides here. Do a nice flip. I could definitely see this being a style in itself. Difference is that QVC hosts don't inspire people. She's planning to enroll on a short course that teaches sketching skills. Hey, all right. My man, my dude. Going to buy a sketching course. Fantastic. Yeah, sketching is amazing. I love sketching. And I am a part of Urban Sketchers in Los Angeles. And by the way, when I say a part of, I don't know if you know what Urban Sketchers is, but in Los Angeles, and I think around the world, there's this group called Urban Sketchers. And basically, they just host these events where you can like go sketch out with people. And it's just, you go sketch out in public, in live places. It's so fun. And they're around the world, so I think you find them pretty much anywhere, in any major country. Yeah, John, I hope you find what you're looking for when you find that class, and I hope you have a great night, man. I hope your dreams are creative and creatively fulfilling and inspiring. There we go. Bring the paint down, bring the paint down. Painting one side totally black. And once I'm done painting this is when the fun begins. The extra fun is I get to play with this canvas as if it were a toy. So let's grab this color. We got this black that's still on here. And what color would go good with this? Let's do, actually, you know what? Let's flip it around real quick so that we can use up the rest of this color. Alright. Flip it around, flip it around. Uh-oh. here we go. Ooh.
Great, it's gonna be so cute.
Yeah, hey, I don't know if you're still here, but if you need any recommendations on books, I'm happy to share some of the things that help me a lot, but yes. Which reminds me, somebody on Instagram messaged me to do a sketch for them, and I've been procrastinating on that, but I think I just might have to do it tonight, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I could finish this painting within an hour, so when I have free time later, someone on Instagram messaged me to do a sketch. Yeah, you definitely cannot get this on QVC. They don't teach you anything on QVC. Huh?
How to grill,
Oh yeah?
how to iron.
Do they really?
Choose fabric for certain types of activities.
Do they really? Oh, you used to watch, I guess you.
No, it's just been on, like when I go to Sharon's.
Oh yeah. She likes QVC.
She loves it.
Yeah, I guess, you know what? I take that back. I can definitely see how you can learn so many things on QVC, but as far as art is concerned, yeah. Here we go. Laying down the rest of the color around the edges here as we tighten up this section. And once we're done, this is quite different than the way I usually do it. I'm definitely usually much more free expressing. Like, you know, I would just like paint all around. This definitely does not look like my other paintings. So I'm not sure if I like this way of doing things yet. But, you know, this whole week has been me just going with the flow. That's what we're doing. So if the flow feels like this tonight, then that's the flow. But here we go. We're going into this section right now. I'm trying to find one last color to place down before we move on to the next major sections. So I'm going to grab up as much blue as I can from the canvas, pick up some white, and let's just go into here. We're going to go just start blending in this black. Once it goes into the red, it's going to become purple. Once it goes into the black, it's going to become a darker blue. And then once it gets into the rest of the canvas, it's just going to be a blending of colors. And although this is pretty freeform, there is some theory, but very, very minimal theory involved. This is more of just, you know, when I try to describe my artwork, I like to describe it as just an exploration of mind, letting, you know, my mind just, I call it mindfulness. That I am mindful in the fact that I'm present in the moment of doing this painting. I'm mindful, being present, being in the moment. And, you know, my mind is focused on both talking about the art and a little bit of entertaining y'all, but also at the same time, I'm present with this piece and with this live stream. So mindful, but I don't say mindful because that's where the ness comes in. So mindfulness, the less is the mindful less element of it. Is that the less part is it's like almost mindless too, because I'm not allowing too much thinking. I'm not allowing too much logic brain to take over this painting. I mean, it's inevitable what the mind wants to do or what the mind wants to think, but yeah, that is the concept of mindfulness. Being present, but not painting in a way that is overly technical, allowing your expression to come through. I mean, some people might just call expressionist, but I call this what I do, mindfulness. Spooky, you know you're not allowed over here. Hey, turn around. Turn around. Bop.
Here. What are you doing there?
Bop.
No. Let's go over this way. I'll take her over here.
She looks flustered that I would. Bop.
Hey, no.
Okay, so we have finished
Here.
the main areas of our painting. So let's start to have some fun now. Let's see how we're going to do this. We're going to start with some black, and let's do some outlines here. Start with, what am I seeing? And then let's take a. Oh yeah, I got rid of that big brush because I'm not going to need it anymore. And then let's grab our white here, and our white is going to mix with our black to create this. Go. What do I have to do to keep these kittens away from the paintings? Yeah.
Distract them with something else. That's the most exciting thing.
Why would you knock that over for me? Why would you?
That's a left of you. Trying to throw her away.
Is that enough? She's like, don't do that to me. Don't shoo me away. Like I'm not a kitten. Like I'm not an adorable kitten. Alright. Let's go right here. Bam, 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 bam. Of course, we're going to grab some of this green. Let's do a green across. We're going to go across here. Why? Because I feel like it's green is coming across. Blah, 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 blah. That's the sound I make to keep the kittens away. Blah, 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 blah. Where's the kittens? Here, do y'all see the kitten? Because I'm going to pick her up and then put her down, but I got to wet my gloves before I get the first pick her up.
Hi.
All right, Pookie, come here. She's the cutest. She's the cutest little kitten. She's about 6 months old. Very adorable. You can't be here. She's a very nosy one. Very curious kitten, as they should be. So here we go. Let's take a nice. Let's take this brush. I mean, this isn't a brush. This is a palette knife. I'm just gonna clean up some of the sections here. We're gonna sweep this across. And let's just sweep that. I like that. I like that sweeperoo. Bring that across. Let's start. take this smaller brush. And we're gonna grab our black. We're gonna do a semblance of something here. Can this be seen? Yes. Start throwing on. Black is going to help us just design and craft around this thing. Kathleen. Kathleen. Okay. Let's do something here. I'm gonna go. And at this point, I feel like we should switch this color up. Let's go grab red. We're just gonna go lay down red right here. Red, 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 red. I have to say the word because it helps my creative process. I had an interesting friend. I don't know if any of you know what the game Guitar Band, or I can't remember what Guitar Hero was, but he would play Guitar Hero. He was really, really good at it. But he would play Guitar Hero, but his jaw would move to the rhythm. So you would see him playing guitar and be like, just like that. Like, he was so good at it, but just as he's playing the guitar, just, you know, he's so engaged. His full body was into it. I thought it was amazing. Really fascinating character. Very athletic person as well. Do some red, and this red is going to come right over here. Bam.
Hi, Simba. Are you coming to bite me? Good.
and I gotta bring back some color. So I don't have enough color on here right now, or paint. I should call it paint because coloring sounds like I'm a child talking about art, which there's nothing wrong with, but what I am doing is painting. I'm not coloring. There we go. So let's go. Let's do a nice flip here. Flip this around again. And let's see, how should we navigate now? Oh yeah, I need more color. What am I saying? So let's bring in some blue. We're gonna add different shades of color here this time around. So this is good, a phthalo blue. What's the difference between cerulean blue? Oh, this is cerulean blue phthalo. Okay. Perfect, just what I wanted. And let's see. We're gonna go. I want to bring back this yellow. And bring back a brighter yellow. Reminds me, I gotta get some more yellow. For whatever reason, yellow is a very hard color to come by. Whenever I buy sets of paint, I probably use yellow more than as much as I use white, because I am always, it seems like I'm always running low on yellow. But here we go. Great tool, by the way, to have this Gamblin tool right here. And it helps you to just squeeze it all down. Just squeeze it all down. There we go. Squeeze it all to the end. And then just, once it stops, you know you've reached the point where it doesn't want to squeeze anymore, and you just put it back down. And here we go. I'm going to put this... And here we go. So, ooh, it's a great place to add our yellow. Just add our yellow strokes of expression here. Let's go like this. I feel like doing with this blue here. And you know what? I don't really like that. So we're gonna go. Whoop. Just gonna swipe this down. I think this is a good solution to these areas. Give it a little bit of texture by pulling it apart. It gives a pretty neat design. So we're gonna go. You know what? Let's do a little crisscross applesauce here. Crisscrossing on this leaf design right that we got. There we go. That's kind of neat, right? And then we're gonna grab our yellow. We're just gonna go down with the yellow, down with the yellow, down with the yellow, 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 and yellow. Oh, go like that, like that, like this, like that. Okay, it's a little bit more interesting, I think. I think right in here we could probably do something similar. Nah, gotta try something different in there. Clean off this palette knife. And let's see. What stories can we tell on this canvas? I want to grab some blues. Let's grab our blue here. Some nice thick chunks of blue.
We should go get sushi.
Tonight? Huh?
Yeah. The steak.
Why are you in the mood for sushi?
I don't know. Just craving it.
Sushi's a good idea. Let's see. This just does not have the same effect as my other paintings that I really like. It's just like the other paintings are just like raw. This doesn't feel the same way. Scout, go away. I love rawness of my other paintings. This does not quite capture that. I think it's too technical. How do we loosen this up, people? Take a big block of paint and just go boom, boom, boom. Scott, You gotta be curious as to why I'm always trying to keep them away from this paint set.
It was bad for them.
Alright, let's bring some of this. We're gonna go.
See my computer right now. Give me the glasses. Depressing.
Look at him trying to sneak around the other way.
Of course.
Scout, you're not. Stop. Come down. Down. Come down here. Come down here. Over here. Go see your sister. Yes? Coming? It's too clean. This painting feels so clean. Like it's just like very dainty. There's no energy in it. Where's the energy in this painting? Here we go. I think this is it. I think this is the key. Add random lines. That's the secret. Then we gotta add some some more shapes. Let's add some more shapes, people. Where do we find needs to be something here that counteracts all of this right here. Maybe I just go do this. Try to find some answers by staring at the painting for too long. Will the answers come to me tonight? Yes, they will, because they have to. Here we go. Where shall this line go? Right there. That's a good spot. Let's grab this black and make it look like this has stuff going on. Let's give this some excitement here. Every painting, you gotta make something that feels recognizable so people can be like, is that a building? Is that a face? Is that teeth? Those animals? Always gotta have something recognizable. Urbane. Yeah. Thought of the name of this painting. Urban. Urbanity. Alexa, is there such word as urbanity?
From thecontentauthority.com. Urbanity, a term derived from the Latin word urbanitas, refers to the quality or characteristic of being urbane or refined in manner, style, and social behavior.
Alexa, what is the opposite of urbanity?
The opposite of urbanity is not urbanity, but rather rudeness, unimportance, and roughness. Urbanity is a trait associated with elegance and refinement, while its opposite implies a lack of sophistication and courtesy.
I like that.
What was the opposite?
She said there's no word for it, it's just like a description. Alexa, give me an antonym for urbanity.
The antonyms of urbanity are lack of refinement, sophistication, and elegance.
Alright, whatever. You know, we're gonna grab our blue here, and I think this section needs blue. And let's grab our yellow, a nice deep chunky yellow. I'm gonna lay this thing right in the center. Boom, 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 boom. Urbanity. Let's see where this is going. It's going somewhere. This is going places, like a museum. Now I think this is a good time for a flip. It's time for a flip. Let's flip it around this way. Alright, we got a nice flip right now. I think it's time we use a different brush though. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab our yellow. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Why did I do that? Because it felt right. And let's go with our blue, and we're going to bring our blue into this orange here. Just going to come between these spaces here and just go bam, 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 bam. That right there. And let's go. Let's grab our red. We gotta get a nice. Actually, this red's already in there. Yeah, you know what? Red would be a good color to continue on in this yellow space we've got. Red would be a great color. It can't just be any red. It's got to be a red with a different type of brush. So this would be different enough of a brush, I think. Get some of the paint off first before I start this next section here. If I have some yellow, it's okay to have on this brush, but I don't necessarily want. You know what? Should I do this with black too? No, I don't want to do this with black. I want to do this with black. Maybe blue. I love this red right here. You know what? Let's go even more in here. It's gonna go.
Did you eat? Is that mask your inspiration?
No,
It's not?
this painting has nothing to do with the mask.
Is the mask an inspiration for painting? Not to paint it, but just to inspire you to paint.
Not at all. It just happens to be here because I never moved it for Halloween.
Okay. So watching over you.
Let's grab some white. White. Color. The paint. White paint. Here we go. White paint. So the one problem with this tube squeezer, if you're not careful, you can squeeze too much and it makes a hole, which can start to dry your paints out really fast. But fortunately, you know, this paint is really dense, and the tubes are like made out of a metal, I think, some sort of metal. So as long as you can keep the paint flowing out of the tube, I think most people are okay. You just gotta make sure that you tighten it up. Get it really tight and get the paint up. Oh my gosh, this tube is pretty horrible. It's another hole. What's going on, Utrecht? It's calling you out. Utrecht. What's up with this? 3 holes just because I squeezed it. That's not acceptable. 2 holes, but either way, 3 holes isn't acceptable. 2 holes isn't acceptable either. Am I being too rough? I don't know. Alright, we're going to shape this piece right here. We're going to give it a white line instead of a black line. Usually I use black lines to create outlines, but not this time. Huzzah. And you know what? Let's bring this palette knife in. Let's just do the good old scraperoo. Scrapey scrape, scrape. Actually, you know, I should bring some paint into this so I have something to bring into it. To bring into, to add to, and not just take away. Don't just take things away. You should always add things. Here, take something, leave something. Take something, leave something. Take it and leave it. Take and leave. Give and take. Here we go. By the way, when I paint when I'm not streaming, I think it's funny because I don't talk. I'm totally silent. But I do realize sometimes when I'm painting, I'm actually talking to myself, which could definitely feel unusual for some people. But not for me. Let's go. Oof, this is an important area. There's just like it's just like empty over here. Okay. Let's take this. Bring in our red. What happened, Kat?
Things are. Computers being weird. I need a tutorial.
Where are we at? I feel almost done here. Then we can eat. Kat.
Huh?
Said I feel almost done here.
Oh, good.
Then we could go grab something to eat. Alright, we're going to get rid of this big brush, or this medium-sized brush. We're going to go from something even smaller now. Tightening this up, getting to just some last final details. I think I know what I'm going to call this one. I'm going to call it Urbanity. I don't know yet. Oh shoot! Oh, never mind.
Oh, today was go to an art museum day.
Oh really?
Yeah, we didn't go.
According to who?
According to Google.
I am the art museum.
You are an art museum?
I am the art museum. Huh?
Oh, okay.
You're like, okay, whatever, weirdo. Whatever, weirdo, whatever you say. One day people will look at these and they'll say, it's just a bunch of marks. And then someone, a good friend of mine, will argue, no, it's much deeper than that. It is a psychological deep dive into the mind of Emmett Ferguson, allowing the hidden tensions beneath the surface to reveal itself to the real world, to the world. Social commentary. At least that's what I hope they'll say. Just kidding. They can say whatever they like. Whatever. Here we go. Bam, 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 bam. Alright, we need one more flip and then I'll be ready. Actually, you know what? I don't need to flip. Clean off this brush. Did you check the mail by any chance? No, right?
No.
Probably not. Okay.
I didn't have a key with me when I was out, and I'm gonna get back to the I'll take it with me if we need
You know what? I didn't even use this brush that I intended to use. Let's go like this, get the paint off of this brush, we're gonna go.
Let's try to give Fern her medicine tonight. Make sure she gets it.
Gave it to her this morning.
No, but she needs it tonight too. I don't mean right now, but I mean.
All right. Space up there. There's this section at the top that I feel needs.
Oh, look at that. It's lovely, baby, lovely.
What?
Got this watermelon theme going on.
Oh, that one, yeah. What's it called?
Hmm?
So that's the theme. All right, and I think we are finished. That was it. That is it, folks. That is it for our painting for the night. Just getting the rest of this paint off. Paint should go onto the canvas, not into the garbage can. You can put it on the wall. You put it on a table. You put it on a t-shirt. You put it on the floor. You know, but I mean, if you're under the age of 18, you should get your parents' permission first. But just don't put it in the garbage. It doesn't go in the garbage. It's not where paint goes. Alright, there we go. We are done for the night. Oh my goodness, I almost always forget my signature. I don't know why. I don't know why, because it's not part of the painting. I mean, it is, but just easily forgotten. So where are we going to put this signature here? We're going to put it right down here. On here. There we have it. Whew! What a fun painting. I was actually scared that this was going to be a boring painting.
What?
Initially. Yeah.
We don't do no boring paintings. Have you ever done a boring painting?
Probably. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna flip this. I feel like this is one painting where there is a specific way you're supposed to look at it. So we're gonna finish this piece up with this angle here. This angle right here. That's what we're gonna finish with. Right there. And oh, Mizu, oh dude, I'm just about to wrap up, but hey, thanks for jumping in. Great to have one extra person at the last few minutes. Appreciate you. Good to just know that you're around, dude. Know that you are alive and sitting or standing or kicking or laying down, whatever you're doing, man. It's good to know that you're doing it. So everybody else, hey, I hope you all have a great night and take care.